morning, everyone. My name is Karla, and you have reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also other crafts sometimes that I am involved in, and a little bit of life thrown in. Today is FlossTube number 106. It is Sunday. It is August 29th. And I have to say, happy birthday, Dad in heaven. Today would have been his 90th birthday. Unfortunately, he passed away in 1976. I lost him when I was 10, almost 11. So he has sadly been not in my life longer than he was in my life. But that doesn't mean that I don't still love him and miss him, and you know, so I want to take the opportunity to say happy birthday. And this is the first year, I don't know what I believe, but if, you know, they're having a party in heaven, this is the first year that my mom is there as well. So if that happens, if that is the way it is, then I hope that they're having a wonderful heavenly time. This is my kitty Doggy, who was being a little bit needy this morning. Oh, look, he looks so grumpy when I do that. He's really not a very grumpy cat. So he was meowing around my feet when I tried to start my video, so it's easier just to pick him up, because then he'll leave, as opposed to if I ignore him, then he's going to be meowing at me during the whole beginning of the video. So anyway, so as I said, this is FlossTube number 106. I have a kind of a lot of stuff to show you today. I stitched every single day this week, which is not 100% typical. Usually there's like 1 or 2 days where I crash and burn and don't end up stitching, but this week I managed to stitch every day. Even Friday, when I was like exhausted, I pulled out and did a little bit of stitching. So cool. I want to give a big thank you to Angelica, or Angie, for buying me, using the Buy Me a Coffee link, and she bought me some coffee as a birthday present, and so I want to say a big thank you to her for doing that. The link is down below. If you are interested in using it, then please do. It is not required, it is not expected, but it is very much appreciated. So I want to say thank you for that. Also, I don't think that I yet welcomed you guys to my channel. If you're new, I hope that you like what you see, want to hit like and subscribe, all that stuff. And if you are a returning viewer, then welcome back. Thank you for coming and sharing this time with me each week. I really do appreciate it. I feel like I'm running a little bit behind today. It's only about 9:30, but I don't know, it was hard for me to get out of bed this morning. I'm having a little bit of a sciatica flare-up, which was kind of really bothering me last night, so it was hard for me to sleep, and I was in pain, and I kept thinking, if I don't feel good in the morning, I'm just not going to do a video. But I woke up, and although I'm moving slow, I'm moving, so that is good. So anyway, I feel like I'm way behind, but I guess I'm really not. It's only 9:30. As far as when I get my video up, obviously, if you're watching this, then everything went smoothly. Sometimes videos just like pop up on there and download really quick and everything, and sometimes it seems like it's taking forever. So it's kind of a hit or miss thing. I don't know why. My hair's now bugging me. Like, I put it up and I thought it looked cute, and then now it's bothering me, so it's down now. And messy. Okay, so I think that's it actually for all of the, oh no, it isn't. Okay, one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. So last Sunday, I think I mentioned this during the video, that I was planning on doing a Zoom stitching meetup with another floss tuber and one of her friends and my sister-in-law Stacy, and we did that. Stacy unfortunately wasn't able to join us because, as I've said before, her work is just crazy right now, and she's just trying to get through until I think it slows down for her around October. So she needs to get through the rest of August and September, and then I think she gets a nice breather and she'll be back to being stitching regularly and enjoying it. But anyway, I did get together with Amy for Zoom, and I had mentioned it, and then one of my viewers, Cindy Pope, who I've talked about on this channel, she's the one who sent me all of that lovely fabric a couple months ago. She kind of went, I'd like to do Zoom, and we were gonna do another one this past Friday. It turned out we ended up canceling it. Amy lives in New Jersey, and they're having really bad storms there, and she lost all of her power, so we just ended up not doing it, and with the intention of rescheduling at some point. I don't know when, but my question to you guys is there anybody out there who would be interested in doing that kind of thing, doing a Zoom meetup? I do not currently have a paid Zoom account, which means that when you have more than a couple people, more than 2 people on a Zoom, you get booted out after 40 minutes, but you know, you can go back in and redo it. However, if there's enough people that have an interest in doing, not a weekly Zoom, I couldn't do that, maybe every other week, maybe once a month, just having a little stitchy meetup on Zoom, let me know, because if that's something that there is enough interest, I will definitely set something up. I really enjoy doing that. I actually have been doing a Zoom meetup with my non-stitchy friends, not every Friday, but almost every Friday since the pandemic started. We actually started it because of the pandemic, which was in some ways silly, because the people that I'm meeting with are not people that I could see in real life anyway, because they're all over the country. But we did start doing that, and it has stuck, and we have slowed down a little bit as life gets busy. Sometimes we can't all get on, sometimes there's 2 of us, sometimes there's 6 of us, but it's something that we are doing pretty regularly, and I enjoy it. It's fun to chat. I've also done Zooms with Stacy and Erin, who are just down the road, and I see them every other week, but occasionally she'll be like, I'm diamond painting tonight, or Erin's doing modeling, and we're gonna spend a couple hours crafting. Do you want to get on Zoom and do it with us? And I'll set up my computer, and I'm not even looking at them. I'm working on my table doing whatever, but they're there, and we're just kind of like chit-chatting. So it's fun to do that. So what I would like to know is if there's anybody who is interested in doing that. If you are, please let me know in the comments below, and then like what time zone you're in and what days, times would be good for you. I work full time, so obviously it's not going to be during the day, during the week. Most likely it would be Sunday afternoon, evening, like Sunday afternoon California time, evening in the East Coast, or an evening to late evening during the week. And let me know, because if there are 3 or 4 people who would like to do that, then maybe I'll set that up and make it kind of a regular thing on my channel. I'm not planning on, you know, making like a join thing. I mean, I know that's something that some people do. I have my buy me a coffee. That's enough for right now. But yeah, if there's anybody who's interested, let me know. If it's something that you would like to participate in, because I think it'd be something that would be fun to do. And if there's, you know, enough people to do a regular thing, then I would go ahead and pay the, you know, maybe a 6-month fee for the Zoom meetup to see if it works. Okay, I'm saying the same thing over and over again. Let me know if you're interested, and let me know what days you would be interested in and times. Okay? And then maybe we'll have a KarlaBeingCrafty Zoom meetup, because that would be fun. Okay, next thing I actually want to talk about before I get to all of the stitching. I know that there's been a whole kind of movement lately to talk about FlossTubers under 1,000. For those of you that don't know, as far as YouTube, 1,000 is kind of like this milestone mark where you have to hit 1,000 subscribers and a certain number of viewing hours I think is the first minimum level to where your channel gets certain privileges. You can monetize, which for some people that doesn't matter. For some people it does. It's a way of, you know, helping you out with life, with your channel, with whatever. So there is that. It's also kind of just like a mental milestone. Like you hit this point of popularity, for lack of a better word. And it's a nice feeling. When you do have a channel, it feels good to see your subscriber count go up. It's a form of validation, and it feels good. And I'm not going to deny that I really like seeing my subscriber count go up. I'm what, 300, 200 and something away from 2,000, and I check it. I check it a lot because I want it to go up. But anyway, so there's been this movement on FlossTube to kind of shout out FlossTubers who are under 1,000 that need the love. And I realized I haven't shouted out people in a really long time. I used to do it very regularly. But I realized, although I talk about people that I watch all the time, you know, just in the course of my talking about stuff, that a couple of my actual favorites are actually pretty small channels still, and it doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, I think I didn't realize it because I like them so much that it blows my mind that they don't have more subscribers. So I thought I would shout out a couple of my favorites to you guys, and ask you to please go over, watch their channel, subscribe, give them a little bit of stitchy love and a little bit of affirmation. Maybe send them a message, tell them I sent you, so that they know that there are people out there that are thinking of them. Now, this is not completely a comprehensive list. I know I'm gonna leave people out, people that I watch, that I like, that I enjoy, that I've messaged, but I just picked out like the 5 that, looking through my list, popped out. And these are the people that I'm going to shout out. So the first one, I've already mentioned her a couple times on my channel already, or today, is Amy Sprinklestein Stitches. So she is totally fun, lives in New Jersey, is a #1 Bruce Springsteen fan. I think she would say, which is where her name Sprinklestein Stitches comes from. I guess it's from, you know, way back high school times when she was a Bruce Springsteen fan, the OG Bruce Springsteen fan. Her friends called her Sprinklestein. So so go check her out. She just recorded another video like last week, but she hasn't for like a month or so, and I was like, oh my god, are you okay? She's fine. She started a new job. For those of you who do watch her, you know she was having intense drama with her last job. Finally bit the bullet and left her job for her own mental health, and then got a new job. And you know, the new job is kicking her butt too, so she hasn't been able to do a video in a little bit of time, but she just got back on. She is a total delight to watch. If you are the kind of person that likes watching haul, you will love Amy, because man, that girl can haul. She gets so much stuff. It's just amazing. She and I are working. We did a sal together of Cats in the Rain, which is right there. And then we did another sal. We started another sal, which was our All Hallows Eve in May, I think is what we did. And here it is August, and I'm still working on it. I think she's a little bit further than me, but that's fine. I'm enjoying that project, and I'm enjoying her, and I'm really, you know, she's one of those people that FlossTube has created a friendship, and I'm really happy about it. Obviously she lives in New Jersey. We have never met in real life. However, she and her husband are total like Disney fiends, and they usually go to Disney World, but occasionally they come out to California to go to Disneyland. And when all of this pandemic stuff is over, I think that they have a trip planned. So being that I live 5 minutes from the House of Mouse, I think she has promised that if they come out here to go to Disneyland, that we will get together for lunch, at least, maybe at Downtown Disney. So that would be great. So I look forward to someday in the future getting to actually meet Amy in real life, because I just think that she is a lovely person. And there's something else I was going to say. Oh, okay. So that leads me, so that's Amy. That segues me into another person who is a newer stitcher to me. Her name is Glynis, and her channel is Fever Dreams. She's the one, if you watch me regularly, where I was talking about her and could not remember her name. She is also actually stitching on the Leela's Studio All Hallows Eve. She joined in with our Sal, and she kind of took that little cue from me, because I changed the hair color on the girl, the little witch, in the pattern to purple. And she changed it to this beautiful aqua teal green color, because that's her hair color of choice right now. So anyway, she is, as I said, she's a newer stitcher, or not newer stitcher, newer floss tuber. So she only has like 5 or 6 videos out, but I enjoy her. She's really kind of a kick. She's a young mother, and she has a less traditional, let's say that, less traditional stitching preference. So, you know, she doesn't go for like the typical samplers and stuff like that, which I don't either. You know, I'm not a big blackbird stitcher, which, you know, definitely fits into a certain style of stitching, and I don't think I fit into that. So anyway, that is Fever Dreams on FlossTube. She has another name on Instagram, which is leaving me, but okay. Let's see. Next person, or actually persons, because it's a mother and daughter, is Stitching at the Cabin. I've talked about them before as well. That is Julie and Alyssa. They're really fun to watch. I'm always a slightly bit jealous of like the 2 people floss tubes, because I feel like they have somebody to bounce stuff off of, you know. It seems like it might be a little bit easier, okay, harder, because you have to get together to do it, but that you have like more to talk about. So anyway, so as I said, Julie and Alyssa. Julie's the mom, Alyssa's the daughter. Alyssa just got married. Alyssa doesn't stitch quite as much. Julie has been stitching forever, it feels like. Yeah, I don't know if I just like, I stamp my foot on the floor, or if we just had a small earthquake. I don't know. It felt like my camera was shaking there for a second. It's California, so we have earthquakes all the time. It's not that big a deal. Anyway, so Julie and Alyssa. Julie has been stitching since she was a teenager, I think. She does amazing stuff. I mean, truly, truly amazing stuff, and big projects. She stitches on chatelaines, and she stitches on Mirabilia. She just finished Via Mirabilia, or Villa Mirabilia. I think that's what it is. It's the one that's kind of like big, huge checked skirt with the big burn thing in the back, I think. An out of print one. She has some lavender and lace, so she stitches on big projects, and then she'll throw in a little thing in between. They're both stitching on the, is it Bent Creek? I don't know. It's the huge quilt, the Christmas quilt thing that, you know, it's a quilt, it's blanket size. They're both doing that one. So yeah, she does favor like huge projects, and oh, and she's working on was it Keto, which is, I think it's the girl, she's got red hair with pearls in it, and then she's holding a dragon. I don't think she's hit the dragon yet. She just kind of did the, so anyway, that's a Haid. So yeah, so Julie does like huge projects, and then every so often she'll throw in a little thing in between, and she gets a finish, but she gets a finish on these huge projects too. So she's actually, I think, the one who kind of like reintroduced me, or introduced me, or however you want to say it, into doing the counted canvas stuff again, and which I love. I don't have one going right now. So we kind of like you know, twist each other's arms back and forth. So like she'll show something on her pattern on her channel that's counting canvas, and I'm like, ooh, and I go get something, and then I buy something and I show it, and she's like, ooh, and she goes get it. She's working on the autumn leaves right now, which I actually bought and enabled her to get, and she's working on it. Anyway, so Julie and Alyssa stitching at the cabin, which they're in Southern California. Haven't met them yet either, but that one is more likely to happen sooner rather than later, because we are probably only like an hour and a half away from each other. And then it's called Stitching in the Cabin because they have a cabin that they go up to every weekend. But yeah, they are much closer to me distance wise, so it is likely that I might actually meet them sometime in the near future. So that's Julie and Alyssa. And then the last two that I have on my list here, I don't think that they really know me from Adam. I mean, we have had a couple messages back and forth, but I find them both really charming and give them love. So the first one is Coco Creates. Her name is Zoe. Coco is actually her cat. Zoe is in England. I don't know exactly where. I find her completely charming and such a sweet woman. And she stitches a lot. She does a lot of crafting. She stitches and she crochets, and she does, I think she knits too. She has I don't want to speak out of turn, she has some physical difficulties. I don't know what it is. She has some kind of condition, illness, something. She just had surgery to help correct like the positioning of one of her legs or the strength. I'm not sure 100%. I was a little worried because she didn't come back on for several weeks, but she just did another video, so she is recovering nicely. That's good to know. She also works on huge projects as well as little projects. I just find her really charming, and I like her accent because, you know, I'm, you know, one of these uncouth Americans that find other people's accents really charming. And she has a really charming accent. And then the last one on my list is Beth Busy Bee Stitches. She tends to have really long videos. She doesn't get them out that often. I think she's like a once a month-er. She just got engaged. I saw that on Instagram, so congratulations, Beth. And she has a kind of eclectic style too of stitching. This is kind of funny. I really love watching Beth because Beth reminds me of so many people that I went to Hebrew school with. I don't know that Beth, I think Beth celebrates both like Hanukkah and Christmas. I think she is ethnically Jewish, or one of her parents is Jewish, something like that. And she looks like everybody I went to Hebrew school with, which I know sounds crazy because, you know, it's very kind of, you know, I don't want to say racist trope, but, you know, they don't look Jewish. She reminds me of people I went to Hebrew school with. So, you know, so I find her very familiar, even though I don't really know her. I know she likes to have both a Christmas pattern going and a Hanukkah pattern going, and she just kind of, and she's very into like nerd culture, gaming, that kind of thing. So she gets excited about that stuff, which I feel like I'm on the fringe of all of that. I'm not a gamer, but I do like all of the D&D and Star Trek and Star Wars and all that kind of stuff, so which she's very into. Okay, so I think that's it, right? Amy, Sprinklestein Stitches, Julie and Alyssa Stitching in the Cabin, Zoe, Coco Creates, Beth, Busy Bee Stitches, and Glenna's Fever Dreams. Go check those people out. They may not all be your cup of tea. I don't think they're all exactly like me, which is good, right? That makes the world go round. But I do enjoy all of them, and I want them to feel the stitchy love. And if I can help generate some of that, then I would like to do that. Okay. What did I drop over there? Oh, all my stuff is falling that I need to show you guys in a minute, so hold the phone. Okay. Sorry. All right. I have too much stuff in too little space. And part of it's that I have too much stuff, part of it is that I am not putting stuff away properly. So, okay. Okay. All right. On to the stitching. I do not have any new starts or finishes this week, but I stitched a lot. So, on to the whips. Okay, so first whip, as I said, I stitched with Amy and her friend Kathy, sorry, last Sunday afternoon. And since I was stitching with Amy, I figured I'd pull out the style that I'm doing with her, which is Leela's Studio All Hallows Eve. And I happen to be stitching this on a piece of the fabric that Cindy Pope gave me. So, let's see. So, while I was talking and then I continued to stitch on this afterwards, I finished the little sign here and I finished the vine going down and the flowers, which I realize is kind of tone on tone the way I've done it in this particular fabric and the colors that I chose, because I just pulled colors from Stash. So it doesn't like pop out. It's more subtle, but I actually really like it the way I'm doing it. And then I put in some more stitches in the corn because I had that color out. So yeah. I don't know, I'm really liking this. And I am going to put this on the list for September. I'm going to show you the other things I'm going to have in September, because I want to try and get kind of my Halloween stitching, if not done, a good chunk done on it. But I think that I could get this one done in September if I focus on it. So yeah, so I put this over here. I might show it to you again. But okay, I worked on Night Creatures, and this is a pattern by The Gathering Place. This chart was gifted to me by Michelle Garrett, BeStitchMe. It is, I'm stitching it on a piece of BeStitchMe in Sleet, I think. Now, you will have noticed in the picture, this moon is very tone on tone, and mine is as well. However, when I stitched on this week, I stitched and I frogged because, and I think I had mentioned this previously when I showed this to you guys, I had some kind of a counting error in the moon up here, and I was off like half a stitch, and I was kind of just fudging it, but I had this whole section that it just looked terrible, and it was very tone on tone, I realized, and I'm sure when it was framed and far away nobody would be able to tell, but as I was working on it, it was bothering me like every time because it just looked so terrible right in that area. And so I pulled it all out, and I was able to put some of it back, but not all of it. So actually I don't know if I have less stitches in here than I did when I started, but I finished that pod, brought this down a little bit, then pulled out a bunch of stitches in the moon and put a bunch back in. So that's where I am. I do have to say that the BeStitchMe fabric I really like. Goodness. You know what is falling over is this wonderful gift that I got a couple weeks ago that I showed you from Bonnie. And I haven't hung it yet. And it is yelling at me that I need to hang it. That it doesn't belong leaning up against stuff because it falls over. It needs to be up on the wall. And there's like a space for it, like right there. So I need to get that up. What was I saying? Oh, BeStitchMe fabric. I really like it. It's very creamy. It's really nice to stitch on. I know everybody who gets it regularly raves. And they're right. It's really nice fabric. I would like to get more, but I do not participate in like Friday night fight nights and stuff like that. I don't know how to do it. The idea of it just like stresses me out. Like you wouldn't even believe. We were talking about that on that Zoom call, but like, I don't even know how to do that. I'm also just not the kind of person that orders fabric and wants to wait for 8 weeks. I'm not. So when I bought stuff, I bought it when she had the ready to ship, and I would buy stuff, but she doesn't have it now. So if she gets another ready to ship group of fabric up there, then I will definitely probably jump on it. But okay, calendar cat. So I worked on this Friday night when I was exhausted Friday night. So I didn't do that much on this, but still counts. Okay, so this is Calendar Cats from the art of Edie Harper. And it's actually 4 little charts. Now I say little and they seem like they're little, but there's a lot of stitching in these guys. And I am working on the spring right now, which is this one. I dyed my own fabric for these, so I have 4 little pieces of 8, I think it's 18 count that I'm doing it on, that are all dyed to specific, you know, dyed to go with the season. I chose kind of a brighter green for the spring. So instead of having like a darker green and light stems, I have a brighter green and darker stems. The color that I did for the fall is more rusty, and then I have like a light blue, like a bright light blue for summer, and a darker blue for the winter. But I'm working on the spring one still. Just so you have a reminder of the colors. This is what I dyed for summer. This is what I dyed for fall and winter. And then this is the spring. And again, they look really tiny, right? Like, well, I could get this done in no time. There's a lot of freaking stitches in this. Lots and lots. So anyway, I just added a lot more of these green stems on Friday night. Okay, as I said, today is my dad's birthday. I have 2 projects that I'm working on, that I have been working on since 2019 that are in honor of my dad, and I worked on both of them this week. So I worked on, this is a classic Pooh classic Winnie the Pooh. I have told this story before. I have this really precious to me memory of my father reading to me from the book Winnie the Pooh, and this actual story that this illustration is from. And at the end of this story, or in the middle of the story or something, or you know, somewhere in that story where he's going along with his balloon, the balloon breaks and he falls. And in the book it says he falls into a prickle bush. But I have this wonderful memory of my dad reading me the story. I remember we're sitting in his big chair. I was sitting on his lap. Because did all dads have a big chair? My dad had a big chair. He was the only one who got to sit in it if he was home. But I was sitting on his lap in the big chair, and he was reading me this story, and Winnie the Pooh fell into the prickle bush. And then he stands up, and it says that he wipes the prickles off his nose. However, my dad misread, and he said that he had pickles on his nose. And in my 6-7-year-old, however old I was, mind, that was the most hysterical thing I'd ever heard in my life, and we just laughed about it. And I just have this really nice memory of just having this sweet moment with my dad. So I really wanted something that, you know, made me think of that, and so I got this pattern. And it is another one that you think, oh, yeah, you'll be done with that in no time. This is a huge pattern. Huge, huge. This balloon I've been working on off and on for, what, 2 years? And look, it's not even half done. I mean, and I put in like 2 lengths of thread last night in the balloon. I filled in one of these little sections, and you could barely tell. I also filled in a little bit more on Winnie the Pooh's arm, and you can barely tell. And I haven't even finished with the black outline yet. So this is only 3 colors, so it is pretty simple stitching, but it is huge. It's going to take me forever and a day to finish. This fabric, this was an eBay find when I, again, first started stitching, and I was looking on eBay, and I saw this fabric piece. I think it's called Gelati, and it's from a dyer that doesn't exist anymore. And I kept going back to it because I really I liked it, right? And you know, it's kind of like purpley blue with these big pink splotches on it. But at the time I was like, I like it, but why would I stitch on that? And then when I decided to do this project, it all connected, and I was like, wait a minute, it looks like blue sky with big pink fluffy clouds. And so I ended up getting the fabric, and I thought, oh, no problem, it's a huge piece of fabric, right? It just fits. Like, there isn't, what, an inch here, and there's gonna be an inch down here with this foot. So I'm gonna have to do it as a wall hanging because I don't have any even room to frame it. But yeah. So anyway, I really love this pattern, or this piece, and I do use it sometimes as like a travel project. Like, I'll bring it over to Erin and Stacy's because, you know, once I get the black stuff in, it's just fill in. So it's easy, but it is gonna take me forever. But that's fine. There's no rush. Okay, so that is my classic Pooh. And then the other project that, oh, I didn't pull that one. Where is it? Shoot. Okay, where is the other one? Here it is. Oh, good. Is Everything There Is a Season, which is again in honor of my dad, and then the memory I have of him, that he really liked this this verse. He really liked this verse. He loved the song by the Birds, and I have memories of him playing that song for my Hebrew school class when he was the teacher. So I did a bit more in this corner, the spring corner. And I also added another line of stitching in the verse. I had to pull out a little bit and then restitch it because I did take out, okay, so in the chart it says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven, which I didn't like because I'm used to it with the bird song with, you know, and a time to every purpose under heaven. So I took out the because I didn't like it. But I had stitched the last two words on the next line off of the line above it, forgetting that I took out a word. So this line wasn't gonna fit. So I had to take out those last two words and then restitch them. Again, this is gonna be really pretty when it's done. It is a little bit more old-fashioned, you know, 80s stitching, I guess. But I kind of feel like it's kind of timeless. This corner's finished and it's gorgeous, so it inspires me to finish all the rest of them. This is going to be the spring corner, and then winter and fall are at the bottom. So. Okay, and then the last two things I worked on this week is going to be no surprise to anybody. I worked on, oh no, actually there's three things, so let me show you this one. I worked on Lavender Roses. Everybody loves it when I pull this one out and show you guys. I finished a diagonal on it. These eyes, I know when I look at them on camera, it's like, oh my god, they're amazing. The nose is finished. So I finished that diagonal, and I am a little bit over 2/3 done on this. So pretty. I worked on this yesterday, all day. And you would think working on something all day, I'm very slow when I do full coverage stitching. I will be the first to admit. I don't care. I think that my stitches end up extremely neat, and yeah, they end up really neat. I do the diagonal stitching with parking. That drives some people crazy. You know, they can't hang with all the threads hanging down and stuff. But for me, when I have something that's high confetti like this, that method of stitching is, for me, the only way to go. I have figured out how to do it still comfortable, because I was doing it at my table, and when my back is bothering me, that's just not a pleasant way to do it. But I found that I can still do it lying down if I use a pillow to prop up my stand and everything. So anyway, I've been focusing on this one. I've been neglecting Catnap Faye because I want to get this one closer and closer to a finish. I'm not going to say I want to get it finished this year because that might be a little bit too ambitious, but maybe. Okay, and then the last two that I worked on, which again should be no surprise to anyone, are my two Bella Filipinas, which I'm in love with right now. Enchantress of the Abyss, Beautiful Mermaid. I've been so into mermaids lately. And, you know, I'm not at a place where it looks like anything yet, but that is actually kind of her back side. not backside, bottom, back slash side, like right here. And that is her shoulder. So I don't know, I'm debating as if I should go down and work on the tail, which is then gonna come over this way, or if I should go and actually work on her face and more of the hair to get her face in there. I don't know. I put in one strand of the silk that's called for. I think the silk is mostly in the flowers, like you'll notice in the picture. She's like holding like all of these sort of sea flowers, and those flowers are done into two shades of highly variegated silk. So one of those came in in this last stitching session. Right here you can see kind of the variegated, and the silk adds a little bit of a sheen. So this is a thoroughly enjoyable thing to stitch on. I'm loving the color that I dyed. The Aida is a little bit stiff, but you know, it's not going to matter once it's done. I'll just need to give it a nice little ironing, and then it can be as stiff as it wants when it's like framed. And then the last thing that I worked on is my other Bella Filipina, Bellatrix, who I just am adoring her. So the pattern's Bellatrix. She's actually in my head Morgana, because that is my D&D character, and that's who she is. I'm stitching this on a piece of hand dyed by Rolanda fabric. This is very the same sort of feel as the BeStitchMe fabric. It's that really creamy Lugana that just stitches beautifully. So she is looking pretty gorgeous. So I had finished her face last time, which I showed you, but I worked on the hair here. So her hair, I think, is almost finished. It may be finished. Yeah, her hair is finished now. And then that brought me out into this, and this is going up into the window. So I might go back down and work more on the skirt. I think I kind of want to leave the cat till the end, like kind of as a treat to do the cat at the very end. She's so pretty. So pretty, you guys. So I think I'm gonna put her on my list as well for my September stitching. Maybe even Enchantress of the Abyss, even though she has nothing to do with my theme, just because I don't want to stop stitching on them. But definitely Morgana, she's gonna stay on the list. Okay, so that is it. That was all of my whips for this week, which was quite a bit. Because I stitched every day, and I actually stitched on 2 things yesterday, so 8 projects. Wow. Okay, so I have a little bit of haul to show you. Not a lot, but a little bit. And then I'm going to show you the projects that are going to come back out for September, which starts in, what, 2 or 3 days? So, okay. So when I showed you last week, okay, a little birthday haul from 123 Stitch. There was a couple things that were back ordered. One, I just got this silk, the water lilies. This one is called Appalachia. I didn't have any specific need for this. I just thought it was pretty. It's my colors, and I just wanted to round off my gift card, or to use up my gift card, I should say. This is the 4th of the cats, the alley cats Mill Hill kit. These are Debbie Mom. They're so cute, and I kind of really want to start one of them, but I don't know. I'm so torn because I kind of want to start stuff, but I also don't want to start stuff. We had this big discussion last week because I want to whittle down my whip list. I am getting BoxyCharm this year, which is a makeup subscription box for those of you who don't know. And they have this thing like every month. You know, you get your regular box, but at a certain point in the month, they'll open up, like, I don't know what do they call it. It's a shop, and you can get stuff cheaper. Some of it's like really good price, and sometimes it's like, yeah, whatever. I usually don't go in there, but I happened to go in there this past week or this past month, and they had these 2 makeup bags, and I thought they were kind of cool, and they're actually a really good size for stitching, and they're totally waterproof because they're makeup bags. They're like silicone or something. So I got the bright orange one. Well, they both have a pink zipper. But I thought that they're actually a good size for, you know, a small project, but it's the same size as my my best aunt that I keep sampler shot in, and that works really well. And so they had 2. They had bright orange and navy. So I got those, and they were like $3 or $4 each. So yeah, I liked them. And then the last thing I got was another birthday gift card thing. So another friend of mine sent me an Amazon gift card. And sometimes I feel like, yeah, I should just use it for, you know, groceries, whatever I get on Amazon, because I got everything on Amazon. But then the other part of me is like, but it's like a birthday gift. You should get something that's something that you would want as a gift so that you can remember that the person got it for you. So anyway, I did. I got a dimensions kit, still in the mermaid mode. This is called Sea Beauty, and it is dimensions with 14 counts, natural Aida. I don't know if I will change out the fabric, not because it's Aida, but because I don't necessarily love the color. I kind of feel like it should be a blue or a blue-green and not this. I mean, I think what they're trying to do is make it look more like old weathered boards, but I don't feel like she's a painted image. I feel like she's under the sea, so she should maybe be in under the sea colors. I don't know. And I don't know that I want to have the words at the top, but I think she's kind of pretty, and I like all of her little fishy and turtle friends and all the shells and stuff. So it's not dimensions gold, so I don't think it's going to be as like intense of a pattern as like the Wind Moon Fairy that I'm working on, because it's just a regular dimensions. But I thought she was cute, and I like her, but I do kind of think I'm going to change the fabric color. Okay, so that is my haul. Plans, as I said, I'm coming up on September, and I have kind of been stitching in themes every month that I am picking. And as I said, in September I want to try and get all of my Halloween-y type stuff out and try and get finishes. So for sure, Bellatrix is going to stay in the pile. She's kind of got kind of a Halloween-y vibe, sort of. Anyway, and I'm going to be working on the Leela Studio, All Hallows Eve. I think I could possibly get a finish on this one. Possibly. Okay. Then I have the two, this is an ink circles that I started last year. This was from one of the Just Cross Stitches. For several years there were ink circles patterns in them, and you can get it now, 123 Stitch, but I did actually get it from the magazine. This is Cauldron Burn by Ink Circles. I am doing it, I was going to do it just 100% in the variegated Needle Necessities fabric. Not fabric, floss. But then I decided to add an accent, and I added an accent of this green. So I am about halfway done with this. Oh. All right, why do I have floss? I do have floss attached. So all I need to do is do the second half. And I think I can get this done this year. And I'm doing this on just a piece of Purple Aida. This fabric was gifted to me by an eBay seller that I bought another piece of fabric from, and she felt like she mailed it out late, which I didn't even care. But she felt like she didn't get it out during her normal time. It was like 2 or 3 days late that she shipped it. And so she sent me a piece of fabric, kind of as a thank you for my patience. This is only half of the piece of fabric that she sent me. So she sent me a huge piece of purple fabric, and it works really well for this, I think. Very Halloween-y. Okay, so that is Cauldron Burn by Ink Circles. And okay, oops. Excuse me, I dropped my floss on the ground. Okay, so this one, there's a little story to this as well. This is my white pumpkin, my white filigree pumpkin. And that is where I am starting. This is on a piece of Hardinger that I dyed myself. So I have this really gorgeous orange, which, you know, screams Halloween and screams pumpkin, but you can't do an orange pumpkin on orange fabric, so I decided to do the white pumpkin. And I am putting a little bit of blending filament in there with it, so it's actually a white sparkly pumpkin. And then this is the green is really pretty. It is this a Needle Necessities? I don't know if this is a Needle Necessities or if it is a Queen's dyer, but it's really pretty. Okay, so what happened with this is this was a free pattern that I found on the internet. And I was stitching along, and then I was looking on 123stitch, and I saw this, which is Mill Hill Buttons and Beads. And it's the same pumpkin. I got it as a free chart on the internet and immediately felt guilty because I felt like, okay, I obviously stole something. So I went ahead and I bought this pattern because I don't want to be feeling like I got something that I shouldn't have gotten. So I feel like I bought the pattern, so now I'm justified in stitching it. It's not exactly the same. It really isn't exactly the same, but it is similar enough that yeah, that I feel like it was taken from this. So I don't know if I'm ever going to stitch this once I finish this. You know, I haven't opened this even because I'm going off of the other pattern. I don't know. I might keep it and stitch it, or I might eventually give it away. I don't know. But I was really glad that I bought it. I didn't really want to buy it, but I felt like it was the right thing to do, so. Okay, and then my big important Halloween piece that I've been working on is London Place All Hallows Eve. So I have 2 All Hallows Eve patterns. And this is the one, it has kind of like the 12 Days of Christmas song, but in Halloween. And I really like it because I've been working on each little picture like separately. When I first started this, because I started it early in my stitching career, it was kind of a way to try out different flosses and stuff. This is done on a piece of Jewel, J-E-W-E-L, Jewel fabric, which I just think is perfect for it. So yeah, so I was using it as a like sampler, in that I was trying out different types of flosses. Does that make sense? So like I used, the first time I used a glow in the dark was in the moon. And then, I don't think there was anything unusual in the witch, although she's just adorable. This is the first time I used Whisper, which, I mean, the Whisper's in there. It didn't come out as fluffy as one would want. And I did learn a trick for that, which I haven't tried out yet because I just haven't had the opportunity. But somebody was saying, and I'm sorry I don't remember who to give credit to, was to get Whisper and get a corresponding DMC and do half of the leg with the DMC and just do the top leg with the Whisper, and then it'll stay fluffier instead of getting all matted. And then I used some satin flosses in the little snake guy. And now I'm working on the bats and the belfry. So, how far am I on this one? Maybe a third done. So I have this much more to do. I don't know if that's gonna get done this year. I'm not doing these stars can be either buttons or charted, and I haven't 100% decided yet. I actually was planning on stitching them, but I don't know, the buttons are kind of cute. So if I can find some star buttons that I really like, then I might use the buttons. I actually have some star buttons but I don't think any of them are like yellow or gold or anything like that. Maybe I could paint them. Okay, so this is definitely coming out. And I think that's it. So, and then I also pulled out, I might actually put this on the list for September, just because I haven't worked on it in a while and I miss it. And it is My Long Dog Pavane for These Times. Which, just like the Temple of Shah, I'm doing on a 20 count Aida with Sulky. This is on a 20 count Sparkly. And so that one might come out for September to play. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure yet. Okay, so I think that's it. That's my plans. That's my haul. That's my everything. I've been talking at you for over an hour, so it's probably time to go. I hope you guys have a great week coming up, beginning of September. We're this close to fall, although it's really hot here. Southern California has been almost 100 degrees every day last week, which is exhausting, I think. I know everybody's having really extreme weather right now. So I hope that whatever extreme weather you're having, that you are able to deal with it properly. So yeah, so I hope you guys have a great week and enjoy your stitching, and welcome back to school if you're a teacher or a student, all that stuff. So I know my niece and nephews started, I think that their actually official school starts next week, but they started, like, they had a couple classes, like online classes that were starting. They take the coolest online classes. So in their homeschool, they get signed up for some really cool, like, Minecraft history classes and stuff like that. So they're very modern kids. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great week. And there's something else I was gonna say, and I lost it. Oh well. I guess, as my mother would say, it can't be that important, or you would have remembered. Have a great week, you guys. I will see you next week, and in the meantime, until I see you again, please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla. Bye.